Hello everybody and welcome back to another Sims 4 video, and today I have a video that has been in the works for such a long time. I have mentioned my Kaplan series makeover video that I promised to put out, that I'm finally putting out now, because we're getting to the time where I'm going to be starting to release more episodes of this series. If you have not watched it, it's okay. I feel like you don't have to be all the way caught up to enjoy the new episodes. You can start fresh. But if you want to go back and watch the series, I will link it in the description below. I actually did have to private a lot of the earlier episodes, and the reason being is because the audio quality / editing is not up to par, and therefore I just decided to put it on private. But there are still 6 episodes available for you to watch, and if I'm being honest, they're kind of the most important ones, and so you can get the gist by just watching those. But anyway, enough about that. I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about our characters. This is Isabel Carter. She is the matriarch of the series. If we're talking in legacy terms, she would be like my first heir, basically. And by far, she is like my favorite character that I've ever played with, hands down. But she is in the stylist career, and in my mind, she's a fashion designer. She also owns a retail store where she sells clothes that she designs. Obviously, it's not a canon thing that you can do in the Sims 4, but I like to pretend. And she definitely gives me Miranda Priestley vibes from The Devil Wears Prada. She is definitely someone that you just don't really want to mess with. She has very powerful influences. She gets what she wants, and she is very determined for sure. However, her most recent relationship, she is newly married to a man named Jake Carter, and the basis of that relationship is a little bit questionable, you would say, very controversial, and therefore her and her husband's reputation is very negative. She has been receiving a lot of bad press, you can say, but she is strong enough and powerful enough to overcome it. And currently we are working on her official work outfit. Whenever she goes to work, this is what she's gonna go in, and I think it's just so her. She's so perfect. This business chic kit is literally made for my sim Isabel. But yeah, I'm sorry if the footage is going a little bit fast. There are a lot of characters in this series that I want to show off to you, and if I want to do it in one video, it's just going to be a little bit sped up. But moving on to our next character that I'm going to be talking about, this is Carmel Royal Kaplan. She is the eldest daughter of Isabel and Luca, who is no longer with us. And she is a actress. She's definitely one of the best actress in the Sims universe. And if I'm being honest, she's not really based on anyone per se. I just think of her as a Hollywood actress, really. No one in specific comes to mind, but she is very fashionable. She is very successful. With that being said, she is not the wisest with money, and recently she has ran into a little bit of an inheritance, and instead of being responsible with that money, she went ahead and bought a brand new house that she might not be able to upkeep, but that is going to be coming in the future episodes. More on that very, very soon. But she has 3 kids. One is the eldest. She moved out of the household, but she has twins called Arbani and Chanel, and her husband is Colton Royal. And Colton is in the style influencer career as well. I feel like he is also involved in the fashion industry, kind of works around Isabel, but not necessarily for her or in the same company, but they do kind of cross paths in their career very, very often. But I am super excited to build her house that I mentioned. I have not done that yet because I just haven't had a lot of inspiration to be building. But with the newest update of the glass walls that they've introduced, I can build something really fun with that. So that update really came in clutch because it might actually give me the kick I need to finally build her house. Because when I build houses for my Kaplan series specifically, they tend to be like very mansion houses and very intense, and they require a lot of time. And when I am not in a building mood, it can be really hard to sit down and actually do it. So, fingers crossed, a building video will be coming soon to this channel where I'm going to be building them a brand new house. So, keep an eye out for that. Currently, they live in a penthouse in San Myshuno, but again, since she ran into a little bit of money, they're like, all right, let's go upgrade instead of maybe taking care of the debt that she's in. In my mind, she has like a lot of credit card debt, and her mortgage is not looking very good. But anyway, this is Colton that I've previously talked about. Colton, my goodness, what a handsome man. He's literally so beautiful. But him and Carmel met because Colton is best friends with Carmel's younger brother, Icarus. And that does mean that there's a little bit of an age gap between him and Carmel. In my mind, it's only like 4 years, which is like not insane. But Carmel is technically an adult and Colton is currently a young adult, but he will be aging up pretty soon. And I gave him this set from the Businesses and Hobbies in like the rusty orange color, and I think he looks so good in it, especially with his darker complexion. And that hair, I think it came from the Cottage Living expansion pack, if I'm not mistaken. He's just a whole man, and there's really not much else to say about that. But I definitely wanted to mix up his hairstyle in different outfits, so I also gave him the one from the Life and Death expansion pack, the little mad scientist vibe looking one. So yeah, very, very handsome man for sure. This is Armani, and I'm gonna be honest, he recently aged up into a teen, so I did do his outfits very recently, and I didn't think that he needed a lot of up-to-date outfits because the current ones that he has are really, really nice. But Chanel is his twin sister, and obviously they're teenagers if you couldn't figure that out yet. But I did also do a lot of her fits recently, but since the last time I gave her the fits, there were a lot of really cool packs that have been coming out that I needed to use for her specifically. And Chanel kind of reminds me of Megan Fox's character in Jennifer's Body. She also reminds me of that girl from Bring It On, the cheerleader. I am blanking on her name, but I might be able to put a picture right here. She is in the cheerleading after school activity, but I feel like she doesn't really care about cheerleading, even though she is the captain. She more so enjoys it for the physical activity of it, the gymnastics of it all, because they don't have a gymnastics team in the school that she's going to. Again, a Bring It On reference. And one of my other references for Chanel is Alison De Laurentiis from Pretty Little Liars. So she is a little bit of a mean girl. You can tell by her traits. She has the mean and the self-absorbed trait. I was debating between self-absorbed and jealous because I feel like there's a little bit of jealousy between her and her older sister Zara, which we're going to be tackling here in a second. But she also has the drama llama aspiration, so you kind of get the vibe of her. But this is the older sister Zara that she has moved out, and Zara reminds me of Elle Woods from Legally Blonde. She is in the lawyer career, and she's recently graduated from Brightchester University alongside her boyfriend and high school friend to boyfriend arc, because they have been best friends for a long time, where Jeb was obsessed with her and they finally got together in college. But Zara is in the lawyer career. She is an attorney and her boyfriend is a judge, so they're both kind of working for the same company, and they found a little fixer-upper home in Chestnut Ridge that they've kind of taken off of an old man that used to live there who had passed away. But the only stipulation with buying the house is you have to take care of the horse that used to belong to that old man. So out of nowhere, they kind of got handed moonshine. No, that's not moonshine. That is Firefly. Moonshine is from my Tiny Town series that I will also link in the description if you want to check that out. But all of a sudden, Zara and Jeb were just on Zillow and they're trying to find a house, and they come across this listing and they were like, oh my god, this is such a cute little ranch in Chestnut Ridge, but the catch to buy this fixer-upper is you have to take care of Firefly. So I thought that was kind of a funny storyline. If I'm being honest, the only reason why I made that up is because I kind of wanted to explore the horse gameplay in The Sims 4, because I haven't done that when I made up that storyline. I've since played with horses in my Tiny Town series. Again, the link is in the description. So you will see a funny mixture in her outfits of really like preppy blonde, very like trim and proper outfits, lawyer outfits, and also I'm working around the ranch outfits because obviously she now has a horse that she needs to take care of. But yeah, they also have a dog that I'm blanking on the name. He is a golden retriever. I want to say his name is like Winston or something, but Winston is super adorable. He is a troublemaker and a little goofball for sure. Yeah, I mean, aside from that, there's not really much to say, but I really, really love Zara. She's definitely ditzy. A little, I don't know how to say it, maybe like out of touch. Maybe she sees the world in like colored rose glasses, and she does not really understand how other people, other people's struggles, because she has pretty much grown up very privileged. For sure. Now, her boyfriend, Jeb, if you recognized him, he is from the Eco Lifestyle expansion pack. And if I'm being honest, he might be the best thing that came from Eco Lifestyle. I really am not a huge fan of that pack. But he has been slowly helping Zara open her eyes up to be a little bit more grounded, maybe understand the other people's struggles so she's not so out of touch from reality. And he's definitely the reason why she got into the lawyer career. Speaking of lawyer career, this is the outfit that she's gonna go into work in. Obsessed with her. She is such a baller. Your Honor, I object. I love Zara. She's definitely one of my favorites. Surprisingly, I did not expect to like her as much as I do, but she has been such a joy for sure. And now we're currently updating Jeb a little bit. Since he's a big shot lawyer now, or not a lawyer, but a judge, he needed to definitely look the part. So we gave him a little nice polos, some nice button-ups. I feel like he doesn't really care about fashion as much as Zara does, but due to the nature of his career, I feel like he just needed a little more refining, I guess. And I feel like Zara would definitely be happy to go shopping with him and show him what he should be getting and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely super excited to start playing with those characters specifically. And what's fun with this household is they're going to be a little bit of a building challenge because they do live in an atrocious horse ranch, which I did also build that house on this channel too. Here's another video for you to go on and check in the description below. A lot of plugging going on. This series has definitely been around where I have a lot of like sub videos related to the series that I can go ahead and plug for you, because I'm also doing a Kaplan series save file refresh where I am going on and updating mostly the community lots, because I feel like I just need more places for my characters to go. So I will also link that description in the I said that wrong. I will link that playlist in the description below. There we go. I'm currently trying to work on a diner in Copperdale that I'm actually super excited to start on. But we're going to be moving on to Apollo Kaplan. Apollo is the second eldest son to Isabel and Luca, and he also happens to be a twin, which is Icarus, who is Colton's best friend. There's a lot of character to keep track, but I promise once you start watching the series, I promise it's not very hard. But Apollo, I believe he's in the social media career, so he's kind of like an internet personality. I'm going to be honest, Apollo is probably he's not my least favorite household to play with, but he's definitely one of my least favorite characters to play with, because I do find his career to be a little bit boring. His next big thing is that he needs to hit 10 million followers on like whatever in the social media career to be able to get a promotion, which I'm low-key like kind of struggling with. If you have any tips, please let me know, because it has been a struggle. But anyway, moving on to Layla Kaplan is his wife, and you might have noticed me slimming down her weight, and this is something that I did want to point out because I don't want it to come off as me being fat phobic, but I really do like Layla's previous like curvy figure. I think she's beautiful curvy, and I think she's beautiful slim, but I was thinking about it realistically. Now, my Kaplan series, if you haven't caught on, it's a very affluent family. They come from money. They're new money technically, because Isabel and Luca kind of broke the cycle, and now their kids are kind of living lavish, and Layla is definitely benefiting from that Kaplan money for sure. And I feel like someone of her status would maybe take a couple shortcuts to lose a lot of weights, if you're catching what I'm throwing at you. But I just wanted to say that before anyone says anything. I just feel like realistically she would do some stuff to take care of the excess weight after she's literally popped out 3 kids pretty much like back to back. She has 3 kids with Apollo. Abel is the eldest. He's currently a teen. They also have Harley, and the baby of them is called Adonis. So a very cute family. I really do love playing with the family, but Apollo specifically he's just not my favorite. But we're going to be moving on to Icarus. He is the brother of Carmel and Apollo, and specifically he's the twin of Apollo, and he is definitely one of my favorite characters to play with, specifically because one of my favorite expansion packs is Snowy Escape. I said it, don't come for me. I really love snowboarding and the rock climbing, and I also love the rock climbing wall from the fitness stuff pack. Sue me, I don't care, I said it. So because of that, Icarus has the adventurous, I guess, like the aspiration, and he has been the one that I have been exploring that type of gameplay, and so for that reason I found him to be a very fun character to play with. I just love those packs. I don't care. And Icarus is in the athletic career. In my mind, he's a professional footballer, and he also owns a gym. Now, this didn't used to be canon because you weren't able to own a gym. Like, it just wasn't a possibility. But with businesses and hobbies, now you can run a business. So now he is officially the owner of the Ikarian gym down in San Myshuno, which is honestly one of my favorite builds that I've ever built. Unfortunately, I did it before I had a YouTube channel, so I don't have a video to link in the description for you. However, it is on my gallery, and it's one of my most downloaded builds off the gallery as well. So I don't have a video for you to click on, but I do have a username for you to type in the EA app gallery thing so you can get it. But right now we're working on his work outfit, and I definitely wanted to use these shorts from Don Lothario's kit. Oh, I love those shorts. But we are moving on to Ellie. Ellie. Oh my god. Ellie is Icarus's wife, and she is canonly Victor and Lily Fang's daughter. I went ahead and made them have kids. Well, a daughter specifically, and she is now Icarus's wife. So she definitely also comes from money, and they're technically like the richest household that I have. And the reason being is because Victor actually ended up winning the lottery, like off camera. Like, I just got a notification that he did. I'm like, score, more money. And they have since, Lily and Victor have since moved in with Icarus and Ellie, specifically because they are a little bit older, they are retired, and they want to be a little bit closer to the grandkids, Kai and Ari, and they all have a dog. She is a husky named Kia, but they all live in a gorgeous house in Windenburg, which is insane. It's very like it's got all the bells and whistles. It's so massive. It's got the biggest, it's got everything you need, like a huge pool, a cinema, all the good stuff. Damn, that was a stroke that you just witnessed live. But anyway, Ellie is in the PR career, and how she met Icarus is because Isabel was trying to hire a public relations agent, I suppose. So she brought her home, and Icarus set his eyes on her, and they have been together ever since. Ellie is insanely beautiful. I think she is so freaking gorgeous, and she definitely has her work cut out for her, because there are just some people in this family that might need help to improve their reputations. I am looking at you, Isabel Kaplan. Oh, Isabel Carter, I suppose. But this is Ellie's official work outfit as well that I had to include, because there's just a lot of fucking... Sorry, I just cussed, but there are just a lot of powerful women in this series, and they look the part for sure. But anyway, now we're going to be moving on to my last household that I'm going to be introducing you to, Malaya and her husband, Nahoya. And Malaya is adopted. She has been part of this household since Isabel and Luca decided to move to Solani for a little bit just to escape their crazy, hectic lives. And they adopted Malaya, who is canonly from Solani, where she pretty much grew up alongside Nahoya as their neighbor. But they both, when they became adults, moved to Brightchester to study conservation, and they're both in the conservation career. And if I'm being honest, ever since I saved Solani, I haven't really had a purpose for this household. So I'm kind of running low on like gameplay ideas for them. And they were very like career focused, I suppose. So they were kind of a little bit late to having kids. And I don't think they really wanted to have kids, but since Malaya was adopted, she kind of maybe wanted to provide that to another child in need. So they did end up adopting Kiana, I believe, as how you would say her name. So obviously you can tell from the picture below that she's a redhead, and no one in this family is a redhead, but obviously she's adopted, so that is the reason why. But that is pretty much it. I feel like they also are kind of not really interested in fame or money, so they're just doing their thing in Solani. They live in a quaint little house there, and they're just trying their best, I guess. But this concludes this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any videos. With that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye, you beautiful people.